Liftoff.
Hey guys, it's James from Insomniac, and frequent Shack News flyer R.S. Schuster asks, how do you feel about game companies using real-life actors and real-life sets in video game commercials? And I thought that's an interesting question. We kind of, I think, helped pioneer some of that with the Ratchet and Clank commercials on PlayStation 2, where you would see people firing off Ratchet's weapons in real life in a funny way. And there's been a lot of that recently, for everything from the Kevin Butler ads that Sony ran for several years to the Call of Duty ad where, you know, everyone's a hero and all of the, you know, celebrities and non-celebrities are shooting off weapons and in a giant war zone. And I think it definitely depends. Like, the Call of Duty ad is pretty brilliant when you think about it, because it's essentially taking you and putting you inside the role. Like, you could be a grandma sitting on the couch playing Call of Duty and killing people and fighting with guns and blowing people up and dropping bombs and picking up care packages. And that's essentially a representation of that, and I think speaks to the promise of what Call of Duty is. So it's really kind of cool from that perspective. On the other hand, you know, one of the things we ran into over the course of several years was that we would do, you know, these Ratchet ads, and they were fantastic and hilarious, and everyone remembered them, and we won awards for these Ratchet ads. But a lot of times people didn't know exactly what the game was. They would say, oh yeah, I remember those funny commercials, and you'd be like, oh, that was Ratchet and Clank. Like, oh, it was Ratchet and Clank. Okay, I got it. So I think there's definitely a fine line to making sure that when you do something like that, that people will remember what it goes with in a way, and doing that kind of risks that you may not be associated with that game. 10 years from now, people maybe think that that Call of Duty commercial was a Battlefield commercial. I mean, those of us in the gaming industry won't, but, you know, Joe Blow person may not really, you know, differentiate. And I think that's the risk, is that you could do something with live actors and live sets, and in the end it would just feel like every other commercial. And you can't, I don't think you can drag that out for too long. That's why we went away from it with Ratchet and Clank. I think it's why, you know, Kevin Butler probably only has a certain amount of lifespan, you know, for PlayStation, because, you know, after a certain amount of time, it all kind of blurs together. It's another funny PlayStation commercial, and you get to see a little bit of the game, but, you know, you want to sell those games. And so you want to make sure that, I think really, no matter what you do, whether it's gameplay footage or CG or live action, that the game is the star, and that people walk away remembering what the game was and why they should go play that game.
Over to the next platform to take advantage.
And so now they're going to make Wasteland 2, and that's great. Like, we get to have that. And also, what's great about Kickstarter is you're part of the game. I mean, if you give enough money to the actual Kickstarter, you can be in the game. Like, I can have Carlos on PC.
You have to start asking those questions.
Why do I not have? I'm going to have.
If I go to the other platform,
so that's really cool. And of course,
they'll be able to buy my game.
Gazillions of dollars they have.
Be there.
That's